Soccerworld Fan TV. We have another neutral reaction to the Everton versus Liverpool game by our expert Zain Butt here. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How about you?
You're doing good, especially how you're reacting after the Man United game.
Yeah,
Must be
yeah, that was a
enjoying it.
relief.
But
For
I
sure.
think you had some time to really think over the game and everything, and give your opinion about the game. And what did you think about the Merseyside derby as a whole?
Yeah. So first of all, I know especially with the history of the Merseyside derby, Everton has tended to struggle. I believe this was the first time they'd scored at Goodison in 5 years against Liverpool,
Yeah, which is appalling.
and especially with how their team was going, I knew this was gonna be a different type of game, and you could tell that this team, their midfield is a bit more proactive. They have a bit more firepower up front. So yeah, overall, I think it was a fair reflection to all because although Liverpool dominated most of the possession, Everton kept getting in behind through Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and especially with no Van Dijk, I felt like there was a vulnerability to Liverpool's defense.
Mm-hmm. And I mean,
Hmm.
like, we got to talk about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think he was absolutely fantastic, especially in an aerial threat. Unbelievable. He had like in a couple. There was two positions. One, he actually scored the goal, and the other one, I think it was a heading chance as well, and he had it far wide. But the way he was going through, damn, absolutely
Yeah, yeah,
amazing.
he's one of the informed strikers in England right now. He's looking really good.
Hmm. As much as we want
Yeah.
to talk about, how the balance of the ties is, we have to talk about the two situations. Obviously, let's talk about the first one. The offside call for Van Dijk, which could have been potentially a penalty for Liverpool in the
Hmm.
first place. So, what did you think of it?
Yeah, so listen, I've had issues with this VAR from like the very start. I believe that especially their policies around handballs, I completely disagree with it. And now with the offside rule change, first it used to be that if you have a goal scoring part of your body offside, then that's the only way it's offside. If like your hand is ahead of the defender, that doesn't count. But obviously they changed it now, and so if you look at it by the books, it's obviously a fair decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Everton were fortunate though to avoid that red card, because if Van Dijk's onside, that's a definite red card.
Mm-hmm. For
He
sure.
should have been sent off right away.
And then, of
Yeah,
course, the other last minute goal, which I think you were holding your breath
yeah.
on and everything, but I think you were absolutely happy regardless. But as a neutral point of view, what do you have to say about that offside call?
Yeah, you see, that's the thing with VAR. Like, these sorts of moments, they kill the emotion of the game. Cause like even the United game that just took place, uh, Bruno had a goal disallowed where Mata's back heel was offside, and that's not affecting the play in any way. Like if his heel is like half a millimeter in front of the defender, it's gonna be the exact same play. So the same case with Jordan Henderson's goal. I think that to that, if you're gonna be that precise, then you're gonna have a lot of for things like these in football. And
Mm-hmm.
overall, it's just VR is kind of underwhelming for me. It worked in the
Yeah.
World Cup, but
Mm-hmm.
in the Prem so far, I don't think they have it right.
At the end of the day, I think we got to take it under the chin. I know it's like the finest margin, but I think if you're gonna go by the
Yeah.
rules and everything, and it is consistent for everybody as well, and that's the thing as well. We got to look at
Hmm.
it this way: consistency.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
if you are consistent, where you're gonna put fine margins for every team, then yeah, for sure. But when you give a sly way to someone that's in fine margins, that's when complaints will happen and arise as well. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's very about the consistency. I think we both agree that we at least want a bit of consistency in the game, especially
Exactly.
with those two decisions.
Yeah. Even
Um,
if you talk about penalties, I'd say there's a complete lack of consistency with how they view the decisions because VAR is good for like offsides and stuff because that's a fact. Either you're on or you're off. But when it's opinionated, I feel like the ref should be allowed to make that decision. And VAR, they don't use it properly because we've seen. a lot of instances where a similar action has been given a penalty by one referee and
Hmm.
another game it's not. So that's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, but don't you think that if we do take a long period of time with these like looks and everything as well, wouldn't it also kill the flow of the game? And that's another complaint as well, right? When if you were to make like those proper checks and everything, right?
No, yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That don't do the checks. Like for the penalties, you just go with the referee on the spot. Like, what are you saying? If there's a handball or something, okay, I get it. But other than that, I say like just go with the referee. Whatever he makes a decision in the heat of the moment.
Hmm. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, we got to also talk about the two injury situations. One more or so less, and we have confirmation. Well, I mean, it hasn't been released in the Liverpool forms and everything, but according to BN Sport and everything, Van Dijk could be out for I think 7 to 8 months, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
of course, Richarlison also got that injury as well when he got the red card. How do you
hmm
think it will affect both teams?
So I'll start with Van Dijk because I don't know the extent of Richarlison's injury yet. So Van Dijk, obviously, that's gonna be devastating if that's true. Because he's obviously the rock of your defense. And say with Allison out, you take out Van Dijk out of that team, and suddenly it's like a whole different story. Liverpool, I think they've been lucky past 2 years with injuries. Like they've had injuries, but they've coped with it really well.
Yeah, not with the long
But
period of time, right?
yeah, exactly. But now when these injuries start to pile up, now is the question that we've always had, like the depth. I mean, I know they've improved in midfield and stuff, but in defense, I don't know how you can, if you can trust Matip and Gomez for long periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and especially with the way this league is going, it's so weird. Like you can't even tell like who's gonna come out on top.
I mean, for God's
It's a
sake,
very,
Aston Villa looks like they're title contenders now, man. By the way they.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like very unpredictable so far.
Yeah, and of course Richarlison as well. If
hmm
the injury is long,
Yeah, do you know how long it is? Have they said anything?
no, I haven't looked at it, but I mean he was limping off and everything, so you're looking at it maybe a couple of weeks and everything.
Yeah, I mean, Richarlison's been really good for them. He started off well as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, with a team like Everton, like they've just come out of the races like so fast. They're top of the league, I believe. And just an injury like that could just derail their momentum, and who knows, it could all come crumbling down after. Like, small things like these with these clubs, I think it could affect them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So fingers crossed, like it's not that big of a deal because I really like enjoy watching them right now. But shit, who knows? Yeah.
Well, I mean, fair enough. At the end of the day, um, yeah. So once again, thank you so much for giving your opinion on the game and anything. Any last remarks you want to make for with any of the two teams?
No, just as I said before, I'm just really confused with how this league is panning out so far. There's a lack of consistency among the big teams, like the traditional top six.
Mm-hmm.
Everton, Aston Villa, they seem to be performing really well right now, but again, the questions are if they can sustain it. So just I'm excited to see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, after the injuries and all that, you know what? I might as well just go on for the ride. But yo, thank you once again for coming to the show once again. And please, if you
No
agree with
problem.
his opinions and you want to just follow him in all platforms, links will be in the description below if you want to follow on any of his platforms and everything. And if you do like the video, please give it a like, please give it a share, and of course, subscribe to our channel as we are putting out more and more quality content like this. And for sure, you're going to be coming for the PSG versus Man United game.
Yeah.
Once again, take care and peace, yeah?
Yeah. Thanks for having me, bro. I'll see you hopefully for the United game.